Hello and welcome back. Now we are going to make a full flight here from Aalborg Airport and down to Andersen Airport, Odense Airport. And we are starting off where we left off, just that it is a later state of time, and just to demonstrate how easy it actually is to operate an aircraft like this. Even though it has an FMS, it is easy to enter data to it, even though the real aircraft might have had some other FMS system than the stock one here. Okay, I have a flight plan saved, so I can just type in our current airport and the destination. Here we go, company route, and it actually finds the route that we have saved. However, I want to modify the flight plan. We can set VNAV if we like. We can set up a transition altitude of around 5,000 feet. That's what we would like to. And the target speed here is out of range for this particular aircraft, and that's because it's stock aircraft, more like an Boeing. So that's why the airspeeds are quite off. As you can see, we're gonna depart here from the runway 08 left out of Aalborg, and we are gonna arrive at ILS runway 24 at Andersen Airport. One thing that is not done here is that it's not setting the nav1 for us, and for Andersen Airport there's no way for us to enter the main frequency for the approach into Andersen Airport. It would have been possible to have done easily if it has been here at Aalborg. Because then we can switch in here and we can switch it. I can't remember, because for Andersen Airport I'm not sure, but let's see when we get down there. Just important that you switch over to the IFR, not the VFR, because the VFR is not showing the ILS stuff. So let's say the IFR. Sorry for the interruption. But there are ways to get the information for given aspects. Of course, if you have had the GPS, it would be easy for you, and I have to mention that for this particular aircraft you have the GTN 750 integration option, as far as I remember, so you actually can have that in if you rather like that, and I actually would like that, but I don't have that add-on, sadly. Okay, let's modify the flight plan, because we're not gonna fly directly to Ridley. We want to skip that waypoint, so we're just gonna place the waypoint we want to fly to instead, and we got a reference how far it is away, as well as the identifier for the country, and this is EK, and that's Denmark. You would know that all airports in Denmark is Echo Kilo Oscar Delta, Echo Kilo Yankee Tango as here, or Echo Kilo Charlie Hotel for Copenhagen, Echo Kilo Bravo India for Billund, and so on. So that's a nice reference there. Then we can go in and say we want to fly this waypoint instead, so we can fly directly to the approach directly from Odin VR station that we'll be flying to as the final waypoint before starting our approach into Hans Christian Andersen Airport. Then we can switch this panel here as it's easier, as it gives you the panel that is down here on the pedestal, and up here it's a compromised window here. We can zoom in and out as we like, and you're gonna climb up to around 8,000 feet for this particular flight. There we go, 8,000 feet. Well, let's say 9,000. I can't remember if it's even or odd. I apologize for that. Even though we are flying offline here, so it doesn't matter, as it is in reality, of course. Okay. Brakes are released, and as stated here, max turn for ATR and the Fokker, so Fokker aircraft as well. So we're not going to be pushed back now that we got the engines running. And that's basically because, as far as I remember, at least for the ATR and such, those aircraft must not be pushed back when the engines are running and in general such way. And it is quicker for the aircraft at this particular airport just to taxi away by their own power. Okay. So let's open my little window here. Don't take the frames per second for anything, as it runs quite smooth, as you can see. No problem there at all. It's just that I also have the texture resolution set down, so it's less crispy due to limited because I actually has limited available VRAM available for the graphic card. It's not a high-end system, even though it can run fairly nice on the CPU. It is the GPU that is actually the main bottleneck here for the performance. Of course, a faster CPU would do it as well, but we are running around the 4.1 gigahertz right out of the box, and that's pretty close to what I actually had in my old, not the latest, oldest system I got. It was back when I actually was testing stuff for FSX and prepared some years ago, and now we actually run around 4 gigahertz, so we actually gained 4 to 4.1 now, so without doing any tweaks or anything. It's just from the motherboard it's set, so nothing manually done as such, just a switch that has been set, and then it does the job. Okay, and we are just going to taxi straight ahead, as we don't need that much runway, so it would be fairly nice to do it that way, so we can get flying, because I know the clock is ticking, and that's also something I have my mind on, because I know a too long video with just texting and all those things just might not be that worth seeing in the end. Also because I don't have the opportunity to actually start doing some live streams and such, but that's it. Okay, here we go. We are set and rotate. You can see it's really easy to get airborne in this particular aircraft, and it flies so well. It really does. And it looks nice here during the evening here, even though it's a bit hazy here this evening here in Denmark. But other than that, the weather has been pretty fine the whole day, so that's pretty fine. One thing you can do now that we are airborne is, instead of just switching on to the nav mode, we could first off go over to the FMS and say that we want to fly direct to Radis now, because then it's actually taking the aircraft from our current position instead of from the direct line. As you can see now, we got the line from our current position instead of directly from Aalborg Airport, as then it would turn backwards toward Aalborg by a right-hand turn and then turn left to intercept the main line. Now we just set it off from our current position instead, so that saves us some time as well as making it a shorter flight for us. Altitude select, of course, and the airspeed can be set, and we can switch this to the FMS if we would like closer to 40 UR1 when we get closer to your station. It doesn't have that much for our current flight. We can set up a climb power now, so now the aircraft will use climb power instead. To stand up barometer here, and you can see our frame per second has increased now that we are leaving Aalborg Airport. So you can see that it is two nice add-ons, but together of course they would lower the performance. Let's retract the fiber flaps there, and then do our climb out here and have a nice look at the engine and the main city of Aalborg. And surroundings. Looks very nice down there. Yes. A bit funny, you can adjust the date, say the 4th, it's the 25th. Flight number. $6518, just a number I found here. Okay, and now we are up at the 9,000 feet. That was pretty quick that we got up to our cruise altitude of today. Of course we could go higher, but I guess that it would be nice that we also are down at an altitude, so we actually would be able to see a bit on our way here towards Henningskreisten Andersen Airport. Here when the sun is on its way down. And here we go. Get too close to overspeeding. So you had a warning there, but it was on purpose. We did that so you could actually hear that. You can go down here and set it for the cruise power now. So we're actually using the cruise power setting here. And we have a nice view from up here. We can take our little light here, can switch on some light over there. Side panel lighting there. I just have to push this little glass of the light, and then it's on, and then you can just move it around like a light source. Both sides. Very nice. Indeed. Let's get some window heating on. It's only 2 degrees outside Celsius, so we would start our airframe de-icing. But also to hear if we would hear any differences in the sound. Economy. Radar off, radar on. Can set the cabin temperature. Should have done that. Here we go. There. So now we should get some nice temperature in the cabin for our passengers. That we should have set on the ground, of course. Let's see about the windshield wipers. Okay. Okay, so they are actually working in an opposite manner than what you might believe. They are actually starting out fast and then going slower and slower and slower. That's actually nice. That makes it a lot more realistic, actually, that you actually have this slow effect. And really nice and full. It just moves. Would be funny to see how it actually affects the windshield when it starts to rain, because in fact the add-on supports the rain effect. It's a download that actually their later aircrafts has implemented to work with the aircraft. So that's pretty nice, but I haven't tested it out yet. But sooner or later we would see how it actually is in action. Okay. And we are doing quite okay here with the airspeed. We are around 218 knots. Give it a bit more power, but we have not to overspeed again. Here we go. Passing the Radis. waypoint. Here we go. We can actually open the windows. I always feel that it's a bit odd how the windows are opened. But nevertheless, it can be done. Now we can have a look here. See that down here we got increase airport, and then we can actually tune the ILS approach. So we actually have it set, so we can switch over when we get closer. All this, of course, if you have the data available, you can actually get those informations. One thing I would say, however, for explain in general, is that it would be nice if there was a map you could open fully, instead of just the region, like here, because it's nice they have implemented so we actually has the ability to get access to it, but it's limited to only this area, and that's not that nice. If I, let's say, want to plan my approach sometime before the arrival, just like you would do in reality, but you do not have the options to actually go in and do it. So that's how it is. See, our outside air temperature is increasing again now as we are flying. I really like the view here. You get this warning. The reason you get the warning is just that the door is opened. I'm closing it again. Just go away with the door warning. And here we actually is passing Aarhus Airport. It is over there. Borders Aarhus, as you can see on the map, is down here, Aarhus Airport, and we are just going to fly down to Abino here, and then we are going to fly to the Odin VR station. Of course, you would say we could fly direct from Lutus and then to Odin VR. That would actually be more realistic. So we could actually go in and say we want to fly Odin and this, and then execute it. So now it would fly to Lutus, 12 nautical miles, and then it would fly directly to Odin VR station, and then we would follow the low in-flight air route. And that would be great. Very nice down there. along. Here we got the first Echo NDB station, and we can tune that in, and we would get information from that as we are getting closer, just in order to get some information. We can set this to tune that one. Here we go. So we have a reference of the Odin VR station as well as the ADF as we are getting closer to the ADF. Here we go. And we are around 33 nautical miles away from the Odin VR station at the moment, and that tells us that we soon should start our descent towards the airport. The airport in flying path is around 2,000 feet. So that's actually the altitude that we should be using as our target. But again, when we start our main descent, we also slow down, so it is about finding the right time for doing the main descent down towards the destination. And damn, it just looks so nice. It really looks nice here. With the coloration and all those things. And now you can see why I actually would have liked more to have the GPS, because it makes it more easy for me to follow where we actually are. Of course you can do it this way as well, but it isn't as great to look at as the other way. Okay, that's a GPS rendering. But now I guess the time is to descend down to 2,000 feet, so we can reach that altitude, and we are gonna do that by the altitude select and the airspeed, and the altitude select knob should be remembered in order to descend and not continue below 2,000 feet. That's a very important thing here to be aware of. Okay, set for ground power, so we are ready for our main landing here. Yep. Upgrade that. Okay. Yes. We would have to slow it even further down here in order to get the aircraft down. Fuel flow. And you could actually go over here and see our reference speed is here. You can see that 1477 is close to around 14. Here, flap 0 around 105. Flaps 25 around 90, as well as flaps 35. That's actually funny that those it's actually the same airspeed as first. When you get up here, you see a huge difference, but only up to around 5 knots difference. So the landing speed should be around 90 knots. That should be our main target for our approach here into Hans Christian Andersen Airport. Compass magnetic. Okay. Steer to fly north. Steer 001. Okay. 12th of April 1995, I guess. By TTD or something like that. Okay. interesting. Let's see. Your station should be here straight ahead. And it's going to be a sharp turn in for the main approach. And we are around 3,000 feet. And let's hit the local QNH set. These clouds are around 9,997 feet. No turbulence. Runway conditions good. So that's also what we had expected.
2,500.
2,500. Cross-checked. Okay. Now the aircraft captures the 2,000 feet. And we can start adding a bit of throttle again, even though we have to slow down for our turn here. That is coming up in a second here. As it's not that great if we don't turn and have a low airspeed, then we would get too far out. We got 14 UR station coming up closely now, and we are turning our way around here to try intercept the path into the runway at Education Anderson. Can switch over to the nav 1 now, and we can arm glide slope, the APP. There we go. I actually see that the runway is quite right there, so we are down as expected. So now we just have to get the aircraft in for the landing, as we have captured our localizer and are flying in here. And as you can see, for our VR station, it is behind us and the ADF is in front of us. If I switch to the ADF needle, you can see it goes off. If I switch to the VR station, it's off. Yeah, that's basically how it is at the moment. ADF ahead of us, and we are ready for our approach. We can go to the arc mode as we desire here, and then we are ready for the approach. And here comes the glide slope. The glide path is coming slowly alive now as we get closer to the Foster Echo NDB station, and we would slow down the aircraft slowly here, and we are doing a full automatic landing here into Education Anderson Airport. If possible, there we go. Capture the glide path and getting some flaps in there, as well as getting the landing gear down in order to try slow us down and keep that glide path. Now you can see the aircraft actually starts slowing down as expected. And there we go, past Foster Echo. And it straight behind us as we would have expected. And now we can just make ready for our final approach speed here and try to get it as smooth as possible. And there we go, down to around 100 knots. And full flaps set, flaps 35 has been set, and now you can see how it slows down. Here we go. So I add a frost throttle there. Around 100 knots at the moment. Doing our best to try to keep that airspeed going down to around the 90 knots. We would expect for our final approach speed. And as you can see, the aircraft is doing pretty well fine here on our main approach for the landing. And no, there is no reason I'm not hand flying it. It's a joy to hand fly it. It is just to demonstrate that how well the aircraft is actually working.
400.
Because it actually does.
300. 200.
'Autopilot out, manual flight.
100.
Glide slope, glide slope.
50.
Yeah, it's gonna.
40. 30. 20.
Here we go.
10.
There we go. That was a lot smoother than what it was from our first flight. Now I can use brakes as well. Try slow us down for our turn here. And we have arrived at Hans Christian Andersen Airport. And then we can go in and switch off the landing lights and keep this lighting on, and wing inspection lights not required at this moment. And here we are at Hans Christian Andersen Airport. Just gonna taxi over here to the main terminal. Even it doesn't look like a terminal at the moment, but it is actually done to the degree of how the main building should have been, even though it's not entirely true to how it actually is in reality. Let's switch off the detector lights so we don't irritate the ground crew too much. And then we would just call it the flight. And we can stop the aircraft here. There we go. Parking brake is off. And we can jump over and say we're shutting down the engines. There we go. Set this up. There we go. And this knob here was actually what was wrong. It was wrong. Why I couldn't reverse. You can see. You can't reverse the throttles if this is set. I also couldn't understand why I couldn't get it to reverse, but now we have an explanation. Okay, let's get the ground power unit running here. There we go. So we actually have some electricity for the aircraft. So let's switch off some of the systems here. Battery, there we go. And then we can, as well as opening the left door, static elements can be set. We can ignore that warning. And the passengers can deboard the aircraft. And it looks very nice. Yeah, I forgot the beacon light, I know. But it just looks so damn amazing here this evening. I hope you enjoyed the flight with us today, and it gave you an impression of the main aircraft project, and whenever it might be something for you or not, like my previous video. Now we just did a full flight with it. So thank you for watching, and hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.